Welcome to Authentic with Brazil 201. I'm your host, Brazil 201, and today we're going to talk about Trump's latest potential executive order, his Hollywood tariff. For those of you who do not know, here's what basically it was announced. Trump has announced a tariff, 100% tariff on all productions that are not filmed in the United States. Now, ironically, this is both would be a good thing if he was suggesting a federal entertainment tax credit that would stack with the state entertainment tax credits that some states offer. Now, for those of you who don't know, every state has their own individual entertainment tax credit plan, and there's an issue. A lot of productions have moved to the UK now because the UK tax credit has basically made it that it is now somehow cheaper to send and fly an entire movie or TV studio crew to the UK for 3 to 5 months than it is to film in Los Angeles. And now everyone knows about the situation that has come with Los Angeles. Rob Lowe mentioned when Adam Scott was doing his press junket for Severance, Adam Scott and Rob Lowe were talking about how Parks and Recreations was made today. Parks would most likely be shot in Budapest and not in Los Angeles. So, like, I'm gonna kind of go through what all the states' entertainment tax credits are because a lot of people don't seem to know. I'm gonna go through California, New York, New Jersey, and Georgia, where most productions are made. Yes, things are shot in Texas, but all of that is Taylor Sheridan things, and Taylor Sheridan's what he gets is different from what everyone else gets. It's a whole thing, and I don't want to get into it. Taylor, listen, I love Landman. I love the Sheridan verse. The man does nothing wrong. Anyway, first we're going to go through California. California, which once upon a time, everything shot in LA. Now things barely shoot in LA. And this was before the fires where some sets and things were destroyed. But okay, so California has a base credit of 20 to 25% on qualified production expenses. Then there's enhancements, right? They do an additional 5% for filming outside the Los Angeles zone. For those of you who don't know, zones are an area that represents from the main sound stages. So New York zone is an 8-mile radius from Columbus Circle. So if you shoot in, let's say, upstate New York or Staten Island or like South Jersey, you're outside the zone. If you pay for travel time and for the crew, it's a whole thing. LA is something similar because the difference is in New York, there's public transportation. LA, everyone drives, but within that, right? So there's an additional 5% for filming outside the LA zone. There's an extra 5% for independent films relocating to when they're moving a show from another state to California. This is what happened with Fallout. Fallout moved from New York to Los Angeles. Visual effects has their own thing, but the VFX studios have to be in California. Now, there's been some developments after the fire to raise the base tax credit up to 35% in the LA zone and increase the annual cap from 330 million to 750 million to retain productions. Okay, New Jersey's credit is 30% of qualified expenses within the 30-mile radius of the Columbus Circle zone, which is the New York City zone, for those of you who don't know, right? There's an enhanced credit of 35% if it's filmed in South Jersey, and then there's these bonus diversity credits, 2 to 4% on meeting diversity bonus. This is the DEI nonsense. And this, you could just swap it and make it NJ hires, and it would be a lot better. Okay, because the diversity thing is just what they still don't seem to understand. Example, according to the census, I am not white because I am Brazilian and Puerto Rican. I am culturally white, and this is a whole issue with American on race. I always click Caucasian on this, but now, listen, when I work on a production in New Jersey, I fill myself out as Hispanic because I guess I am Hispanic, and I understand I need the tax credit. This is the issue with the tax credit thing with the diversity nonsense, which needs to be scrapped. New York's, by the way, New Jersey has 100 million annual cap on its thing, and for all these studios that are opening up in New Jersey over the next year, right? So there's Cinelease in Jersey City. There's this massive Netflix studio that's supposed to rival what the hell is his name? The dude in Georgia. Tyler Perry studio, right? That's supposed to be a Monmouth. I don't know if they're going to create like a Monmouth zone or whatever, but the issue with all this is if you're going to build these sound stages, you need to offer tax credits and you need to expand the cap on this if you want productions, because after the strikes and everything, things have to be worth it to come back to start production. Okay. and this is a fundamental look, we just began production on something today, as in Sunday. In Jersey City, we have 30 days to shoot it, and getting the tax credits correctly for everything is a fucking pain in the ass. You have no idea. The New York process is far similar, but maybe because New York has been doing this for decades, they understand. Or once again, New York has a TV and movie film division for their police force. So when you, well, I'm going to get into this on the New York side of thing, right? So New York offers a base credit of 30% of qualified production expenses. There's a regional bonus for 10% on productions that have 500, at least a $500,000 budget. And then there's another, he could hit. Oh, by the way, and if 50% of it is shot upstate New York, they get a bonus, like 5 to 10% tax credit. Then there's the post production credit for work that's in. Right now, through 2034, right? 700 million annually, okay, for productions, okay? And they want to raise it to 800 million because New York understands this, because now they have to compete with New Jersey, okay? And I think competition makes it better. And if we get a federal tax credit that can stack, we could bring the jobs back, okay? Like, this is what people don't understand. Right now, look, Avengers Doomsday, Avengers Secret War, Spider-Man 4 are all going to shoot in London. Spider-Man 4, whether this is Battle World, New York City, or normal New York City, it does not matter. The fact that a New York City movie where New York City is supposed to be a fucking character is shooting in London and not New York because of tax reasons is fucking insane. This is the same issue. Now, I understand Avengers is going to be in the fake TVA world and all that and not in New York, but once upon a time, these movies actually, this old Spider-Man movies, the Tobey ones and the Andrew Garfield ones, they shot in New York, on location in New York. It was real, not the fucking volume and all the other nonsense that has happened. Okay? What Trump is saying is right, that it is jobs are losing. And look, the Georgia issue and the Texas issue, because they're right to work states and they don't like the unions and all the other shit, and listen, the WGA, listen, as a person who's a member of a lot of these unions, I'm very pro union. I haven't done something in Georgia in like years, but listen, there needs to be there should be production everywhere. Okay, listen, the Taylor Sheridan shows would not work if they were shot in New York. I'm sorry, they only work in Texas. And once upon a time, everything shot in Georgia. There was a whole era where a lot of the Marvel movies were shooting in Georgia, and now I don't know what besides those Tyler Perry shows shoot in Georgia. Because from what I understand, a lot of Georgia is like a ghost town in regards to the filming production. And the other thing is with these tax credits. Look, California finally wants to fix their problem, but I don't think people understand. Right now, if you're about to go into production by May of next year, meaning May of 2026, you already know where you're shooting because you have to book these sound stages months in advance, okay? And you're like, okay, I need 45 days blocked out for this, this, and this, okay? And also because everything is about to come back in a couple of months, because like if you're in New York, here's a good example. The Law and Orders, the FBI's, well, actually, a lot of shows got canceled, but a lot of shows have these sound stages booked for 9 months a year, kind of like a teaching schedule, and then the movie comes in and all this, and they get their tax credits, and then the New York Police Department has a TV and movie film crew, a film unit for when you shoot on location, like on the streets. They have to close the street in New York, like the FBI's and Law and Orders always do this. This is actually good because the tax rebate, they get paid to do this, and it's a great thing. Listen, I enjoy working in the entertainment industry, but once again, Trump does something stupid that that was technically correct, but does not know how to do it correctly. Him just saying 100% tariff on foreign productions without being like, you know what I want in my crazy tax bill that, may not pass with along the other shit is, you know what, I want to bring entertainment jobs back to the States. I want to bring these multi-billion dollar productions back to the States because look, Avatar 4 is almost done, I guess, and is shooting in New Zealand or Australia. The Avengers, the next two Avengers movies, and Spider-Man are shooting in UK. The Odyssey is different. The Odyssey has to shoot in Rome. That really can't be shot in America. I'm sorry about that. That's an okay thing. Sometimes foreign movies got to shoot foreigner. I think there's like a Jennifer Lopez movie that actually just finished production in Jersey and then just went overseas. But this is the thing, and obviously White Lotus. I really I really wonder what's going to happen with the next season of White Lotus and all of that. Though I don't know. His thing said movies and not TV shows. Very interesting on that, right? From what I understand, Trump hasn't even signed this executive order yet in regards to it. But the way he worded it was about bringing movies back and not TV shows. Hold on, let me see this. Trump EO Hollywood. I'm sorry. I'm doing this live. Okay, yeah, it's just movies, not TV shows. So White Lotus, you are good. But there is truth to this, okay? There needs to be a federal. I know he does not want to suggest it, but this is what I would do for the tax bill. Okay, listen, I want the SALT cap lifted very easily. I also think you have to do a 25% federal tax bonus, the federal entertainment tax credit that stacks with the state one. Obviously, and you can make it tailored to each state that if you hire local residents of said state, it's very complicated in regards to New York and New Jersey because a lot of people live in one, work in another, whole thing. You could do it for California, you could do it for Georgia, you could do it for Texas. From what I understand, New Mexico's like having blowing up right now for a lot of things are about to shoot in New Mexico. I don't know what that situation is, but there is a way to do this correctly. So some of the biggest movies that come out are actually made in America. There's nothing wrong with that. For God's sakes, a lot of these movies take place in real American cities, okay? The Avengers all live in Manhattan, okay? Yes. Oh, by the way, yeah, Supergirl is shooting right now in London. I guess James Gunn's better wrap that shit up quickly so it's done. But like Lanterns is shooting in Los Angeles right now. I got one of the few things. So this is and Peacemaker shot in LA, I believe as well. This is the thing. And obviously Hawaii. Listen, we need a federal entertainment tax credit that stacks with the state entertainment tax credits. That's it. Okay, I don't know. He hasn't even signed, but whatever. Listen, I am sure Sean Fantasy on the Big Picture Pod and Matt Bellany and Lucas Shaw on the Town will and Andy Greenwald and Chris Ryan on the Watch on their podcast tomorrow will go all more into in detailed depth tomorrow on this topic because this is what they all talk about. Okay, they all make well, no, Sean doesn't make movies, but Andy Greenwald makes movies, and Matt Bellany is basically a better version of the Moy, but like high class. So yeah, this has been another episode of Authentic with Brazil 201.